Today's show is sponsored in part by Race Deck.
Wow, cool ride. But your garage sucks.
Yeah, you're right.
Now this is a masterpiece, but would you treat it like this? No! Of course not. Don't treat your garage the same way. Race Deck transforms this space into a sanctum for your car.
Race Deck is the original modular flooring system engineered for the garage. That was their new commercial. Your garage sucks, but Race Deck will save it. And guess what? To celebrate that new commercial, Race Deck is giving you 20% off. Listeners, 20% up from 15% just because they've got a new commercial and they like you. Shop at racedeck.com and use code SPIKE911 for an exclusive 20% off and free shipping. Racedeck.com and use code SPIKE911 for 20% off for a limited time only and free shipping. Let's start the show.
Spike's Car Radio starts now.
We need another lighter. We're just warming up here at Baldwin Hills, enjoying a little Daft Punk. We're spooling up. You got your cigar lit, Johnny? Welcome to Spike's Car Radio. Do you know how Daft Punk got their name? Does anybody know that? Do you guys know?
No.
You're up.
No.
The late Dave Jennings dismissed Daft Punk's early efforts as Daft Punk Trash.
I would have preferred it to be Daft Punk Trash.
Daft Punky Trash during a review of the now shuttered Melody Maker magazine.
What's trash now?
Which is literally trash. They were calling themselves Darlin'.
He was right on.
But this is way better. Guys are like, didn't they start all electronic music? Them and the Devos.
I think you're thinking of Kraftwerk.
Yes.
And
Exactly.
Kraftwerk.
Kraftwerk was like 75.
Even earlier.
Maybe
I just
earlier.
worked with Mark Mothersbaugh.
Oh, I just met his manager.
He was the music on this video game Redacted, which is coming out Halloween, October 31st, wherever you get your games. I was a writer, consulting producer on it, created some fun characters, and Devo did the music, and it's a roguelike. And and the gang there all listens to the show. That's how this all happened.
You were
Steve,
gonna hire me, and then you had AI do everything I was gonna do, which was awesome.
Yeah, I had AI replace you.
It was super cool.
Yeah,
I loved it.
I had to hire somebody who was working with me first. Anyway.
We've already had you here, AI. You were the Rufus sticker or the Johnny sticker. That was you, AI.
Welcome. Here we are. You're back, Johnny.
I'm back. Where was
You
I?
missed the big whole Loof thing. You missed Loof 10, and it was kind of embarrassing when people, where's Johnny? And I would go at a Hot Wheels thing.
Yeah, getting paid at a Hot Wheels thing. Let's
It's
not
actually
forget.
kind of fun to say you were at Hot Wheels.
They reached out to me, too, and I was like, you got Johnny. Isn't that enough?
I mean,
we're Porsche people. We're going to Loof 10.
Loof was good?
It was hot. It was very, very hot.
That seemed to be... I was going to swing by, but everyone I talked to was like, it's so hot.
It was very hot, but there were cool cars everywhere. Everybody seemed to not mind the heat. They set up this nice little area for us, but they forgot to stanchion it off. So a bunch of invalids were sitting there when we walked in. Zuckerman, remember? There was an old guy there and a pregnant mom. And
Excellent.
we had to go, hey, can you get out of our space?
Nice.
How long are you going to be? The guy with two cameras said, how long are you going to be? Why am I answering these questions right now? Get out of here.
That's great. That's awesome.
Loof 10, weird guy. But then we met a ton of our listeners and a ton of the Porsche faithful, and the gang all came by. We saw Zwart and had a fun conversation with him. We never caught up with Pat Long.
He goes into like work mode.
Yeah, they were running around.
Yeah,
but it was a
yeah.
professional, like they met us right at the gate in a golf cart and took us in and brought us in the back. It was fantastic. And we did our thing, kind of talking to each other. Matt Farah sat in for you, and he had that seat facing everybody. So I could tell, had a little bit of sweat on his brow, and it all kind of worked. We had headphones, we had a nice chat, and people were polite and waited till the end to come over and say hi. And
Did they listen, or they just stared at you like
they couldn't hear it. There was too much noise going on.
So you were like three chimpanzees.
We were
at
just
the
like
zoo.
this.
Yes.
Just like this, but that was the plan.
Right.
Come find us. You can see what we do. You can listen to the show later.
Got
We
it.
were just another exhibit.
Right.
Just another exhibit.
Right.
We were a working soundstage.
Got it.
And the point of that was when I was talking to Aaron, who's one of the producers there, I said, it's you have a show. That's the show. I don't want to be a show on top of a show. You do your thing. We'll just be a thing that we're doing, and people can find us. And that way, I felt like we weren't stepping on their toes in any way.
It's really becoming like a car weekend because, like, look, I'm sorry I missed it. I actually had a lot of fun at Hot Wheels, and they had like over 10,000 people show up, which was crazy. It was 4 times the attendance of the last year when they did it. And
Did you get part of the gate?
no, there's no gate. It's free.
What about concessions?
No.
Did you get any free Hot Wheels?
I could, if I ever want free Hot Wheels, I know who to
So
call.
what were you doing there?
I was the host.
You were the host of
Yeah.
what exactly?
So it's the Hot Wheels Legends tour, and so they've done a bunch in Europe and a bunch around the world. They have all the winners. So basically, people bring their cars, and there's a bunch of judges, and they get judged, and the winner goes on to like a semifinal. So this was the final stop of the American tour.
So were you on a stage in front of everybody? And
Yeah.
what are you saying? Okay, bring out the next car.
No, nothing like that. No, it's
This
more
one's
like,
a Dodgers baseball helmet with four wheels and a
nothing like
funny
that. No,
steering
like
wheel.
I introduced the judges. You know, I'm like, oh, so you're an arts or a car design school dropout. You know, like
Right,
what
right.
caught your eye, or what caught your dropout eye? And then they had like a winner from Germany.
How long is the show? Like the
Oh, it
stage
starts
part?
at 9, and the stagecraft
Like how-
portion of it's probably like an hour.
So you have to be on
at
stage for
various
an hour.
times. You know what I
Right.
mean? They split it up.
So they bring you back.
Yeah, but they had like the guy that won from Germany, so I interviewed him.
Was
They had some-
anybody in the audience listening at all, or were you
Yeah.
just
Oh,
noise
yeah.
noise kind of over the crowd?
No, I mean, there was so many people that like I started talking, and 1,000 people turned around and were staring at me. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was that kind of thing. And it was cool. And the car that won is fucking phenomenal. I actually saw it.
Was it like a skull face?
No,
with
no.
3 wheels, and
No.
a giant brass steering column with
No.
a wood wheel.
It's called the Ford Truss or the Ford Truss. You'd have to see it to understand it, but it's like a 34 Ford truck that this guy went to like aircraft junkyards and found
Wow.
these amazing like aerospace parts and like made this wild truck. And the thing is, the closer you get to it, the more is revealed. Like the little hidden Easter eggs go down to 7-point font.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely wild. He's like some industrial designer guy. It's killer. It's nuts. Like it was. I'll put it like this: there was 9 judges. 8 of them had it as their winner, and the one who didn't missed it, didn't see it. So she
Right.
went back and looked, and then she was like, "Oh yeah, that should win." Like, it was a home run.
I'm judging the Beanie Baby competitions. I think.
Nice.
Yeah. People are making their own Beanie Baby cushions and
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
the
I'm gonna be
whole Hot Wheels world seems annoying to me.
I guess it's slightly better than cosplay and
Yeah.
LARPing or LERPing, whatever that is.
Yeah, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I like a Hot Wheels with kids. Like, I like when I go to the Ralphs and there's some Hot Wheels there and the kids play with them. When the adults are playing, making
It's
Hot
weird.
Wheels, it's weird.
Well,
to
hang
me.
on. What it
it's
is,
kind of
though,
weird.
I don't want to say
I know it's hot
like,
rodding, but it's
People are bringing their cars in hoping to win.
yeah.
You know, that's all it is.
I guess.
And then there was tons of kids, and they had a lot
Look,
of-
I'm with SEMA. All right, that's about as far as I'm gonna go. SEMA.
Oh, I don't like seeing.
When
And then
adults are-
beyond SEMA is this weird Hot Wheels world, and that to me
That's where adults play with kids.
starts
it's
to
strange.
feel like garbage. Well, no. Now you're. What are you? What are you
you're being
comparing?
pretty dismissive of like LA car culture once again, Spike Ferris.
Not LA car culture.
That's what it was.
Because I don't think Hot Wheels is part of LA car culture.
Hang on.
I think it's part of corporate bullshit culture.
Not the Hot Wheels part. The Joe Blows who wait in line to bring their cars in.
I think they should focus on other things.
What? This is it.
Not kids.
Zuckerman, these allegations are all wrong.
Wow.
The opinions of Zuckerman are his own,
Wow,
not the
yeah,
opinion.
They're not even my own.
and
They just
Skyview
come from-
Entertainment or Spike's Car
I hear
Radio.
And the opinions
I hear
of Spike
them.
are
Someone's speaking them into my ear.
Anyways, it was a good show. But there was also the Velocity was going on that weekend.
What's that?
The big thing up in Velocity Invitational, big thing up at Sears Point.
Yeah.
Like bunch of supercars.
Oh, that was a bunch of race car guys.
yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah. So that
There were
was
a bunch of
happening.
911s up there, Rick.
Audrain was happening. So there's a lot going on.
Audrain's fantastic.
Yeah, a lot going on.
That's
all.
legit. We love David Osborne.
Okay, so you hate Hot Wheels, love Audrain.
I like that castle.
Yes, that's exactly right. I hate Hot Wheels and I love RJ. What's wrong with that? That's
Nothing.
exactly right.
I like both, and I like Luft, and I like Velocity. They're all fun.
Velocity's great.
Just Hot Wheels sucks.
Hot Wheels suck. Come on, they kind of suck. It's fun, but they kind of suck.
I like them.
No one takes them seriously.
No, of course not. They're Hot Wheels. They're $1.
And I like the Hot Wheels themselves.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
No.
But I'm
move
sorry,
on.
Hot Wheels people, you couldn't pay me enough to come. Don't ask me anymore. I don't want to come. Now, if you wanted me to write your movie and produce that, I would have done that.
You know, you had it until just now.
I could have had it. I
Yeah.
would do that, and I would make you Barbie money. But don't invite me to your show somewhere in Long Beach to somebody's.
Can I help write the show?
El Segundo.
You can have it, sure.
We're going to write Hot Wheels. I need your help, obviously.
No, write anything
I've got
you
two
want.
or three lines that I just want to put in.
What, like what?
Keep the kids away from those guys.
Well, what was funny? Well, you would have loved. Forget it. I'm not going to go there.
You know what makes those wheels hot?
Wow.
What is happening?
I don't know.
Zuckerman has dragged us into the gutter once again.
And you're drinking out of it.
I'm not. I'm listening to the show as we're recording it, and I'm hearing these stray comments about the Hot Wheels crowd.
Come into my Hot Wheels sauna.
I haven't made that connection yet. Anyway, seems like a good time for an ad. How about Acre Gold?
Yeah. Quick.
You know, the Acre Gold guys came to visit us.
No shit.
At Louvre 10.
Oh, wow.
They were there.
Did they give you gold?
They talked about it, and they gave me their origin story. It was all very interesting.
It was fantastic. Yeah, and I did.
Nice.
I'm getting a new piece of gold.
I want a new piece of gold.
Right here from my tooth.
Yeah. Let's get gold teeth.
And then now Costco is buying gold. Did you see that?
No.
It's like, don't buy the Costco gold. Buy the Acre Gold.
Yeah.
Don't come out of pocket for gold all at once. Instead, subscribe to Gold for as little as $30 a month. Here we are again with Porsche guys and new businesses. How it works. Pay in every month till your gold stash reaches the price of Acre Gold's bars. Then Acre discreetly ships directly to your home. It comes wrapped like drugs. You know when they find drugs in an airplane or in a car?
Yeah.
Across,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what it looks like.
That's awesome.
And you're like, what is this? And I always think it's a car part and an electric bike part.
My gold is wrapped like drugs.
And then you open it up, and there's gold in there, and you go, aha!
Better than drugs.
They didn't want anybody to take it. Acre Gold also has $50, $100, $250 per month options for larger gold bars. Acre is backed by the same team who funded Liquid Death, canned water. Some customers have been subscribed for over 4 years. And I'm subscribed, and I've got their little gold holder.
And
I like it.
Costco's got to get out of this. I'm going to work out a deal. Anchor Gold's not going to sell meat or booze. Costco stays out of gold. This is going to be a trade.
No cheap hot dogs.
No cheap. No $1.50 hot dogs. Anchor Gold won't send in.
I want one of the big bars, though.
I
I
want
want
a
one of
big
the
bar.
big, scary
Let's
bars.
get one.
What do they cost? What is
wow.
that?
At this
How many
point,
ounces?
They're very heavy. What is it? Few pounds?
Oh,
A bar?
more than that. A bar of gold. I mean, I can look it up. Bar
28
golds.
ounces in a pound. It's $4,000 an ounce.
I mean-
so just an ounce of
Is
gold.
gold 4,000 an ounce already?
Yeah.
I thought it was 2,500.
Okay, 2,500, whatever it is, it's a
Whatever,
lot. So the 16 ounces in a pound, and that heavy gold bar has to weigh maybe 5 pounds.
Oh, I did it, Zuckerman. Here I go.
Blow, oh, you fucking moron! Holy fucking! Let me take a picture of you. Hold on, no, let me take a crotch picture. Wait, guys, hold on. This is unbelievable.
No, I didn't wipe it. What do you want me to do?
Okay, I want you.
Hurry up and take the
Okay.
picture. We got to do a show here.
What about the ad?
Here, we're gonna
I'm taking a picture of my crotch.
Wow.
Look at the ashes came
Spikes.
out of his dick.
All right, now.
Balls.
Okay, what do you want me to do
cushion,
here?
Pick the cushion up.
All right,
and
here we
shake
go.
it off.
Okay.
This is the
I'll
very,
narrate.
very
All right,
first time.
So Spike is
There's some applause
admitting-
going.
He's
Yes.
admitting he spilled ash. Now he's going to
You've never
ash.
seen so much ash.
Where do you want me to
That's
dump
a
the
lot of
ash?
ash.
Onto the concrete.
Okay, hold on. I gotta put my-
This is like
Put the
Mount
mic
Etna.
down.
Mount
This
Etna
is like,
exploded.
He's got to
in
take the
between his
headphones
legs.
out, people. He's running. He's by the telescope.
And
he
they give
has
a
dumped
blow.
ash.
Blow, don't rub.
Oh, he smacked
He
it in.
rubbed.
He smacked it in.
Okay.
And now the telescope is covered in ash.
Yes.
I'm smoking one of those.
Smell like Mount Pinatubo.
Smoking one of those crazy
Your back
cigars,
cushion.
by the way.
Your back cushion.
So we'll see if I get giggly. Sorry, I had to
Smoking
take my
a-
Are you
headphones
smoking
out.
Hey,
drugs?
Halloween.
Yeah.
Hey, the gold bar is 27.4 pounds.
Holy shit.
Gold's heavy.
Okay, wait. Did you do the math?
No, I Googled.
Okay, so you got it. Yeah, but times 16 ounces.
No. I said, how much does a gold bar weigh? It's at 27.4 pounds, which is like, 12 kilograms or whatever. It's 13 kilograms.
Oh. Now I hit my microphone with.
Are we done with Acre Gold?
We are.
right.
We've been done with them for a while.
Oh, shit. Wow.
I'm moving on to other things.
Okay, let's do it.
Get to dick pills.
Dick pills. Get to dick pics.
There's a very funny note here in my rundown that says Watkins Glen, and I have no idea what it's
There's a
referencing.
race
I'm
there.
racing next week there.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
racing
I'm
there.
racing there.
By the way, a bar of gold, just
Okay.
on quick math,
Yeah.
is $1 million.
Let's get one.
Yeah, it's $1 million for one of those things.
All right.
Because there's 16 ounces in a pound.
Yeah.
27 pounds, 27 times 16 times 2,500 is the math I did.
So how do you leave
What if
that
it got a
much?
swastika stamped in
I wouldn't mind.
1942?
That'd be fine by me.
Is that okay?
That's a lot of gold to lay laying around your house.
How long is it? Those little slivers. How,
You
how
know what we do? We paint them white, and we use them as doorstops. We just leave
Yeah.
them.
They'll never find them.
They'll never
Murder
figure it
weapons.
out.
Except
Yeah.
that gold's mushy, so it just bend.
All right, forget it.
Yeah,
I'm going to just
racing.
stick with my little gold.
Watkins Glen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they didn't have races there for some number of years, correct?
I'm not an expert. I
But
don't know.
what do you mean you're racing?
I'm on a 4-person team. My boy Michael, Ryan Johnson, Tato
Yeah.
Zeiderman, and a guy named
What
Klaus.
racing series is this?
World Racing League, and I'm in the middle division. So I'm in
What kind of car?
E92 M3 with a dual clutch transmission. It's green, and yeah, it's gonna be good. I've been spending my time on a simulator. Had a good final practice session the other day, and I'm feeling pretty good. I got a microphone wired into my helmet today.
What is this race? Is it going to be televised?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it'll probably
And
be on
when
the-
is it?
Next Saturday and Sunday. So
Oh, wow.
the
So it's
19th
coming
and
up.
20th.
So it's 2 days of racing. You
it's
race both
endurance.
days?
So it's like 2 7-hour races.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah. So I'll have like 45-minute stints.
And
Like
who asked
basically-
you to do this?
My buddy Sergio.
Hello.
Sergio. His son's
I think
on the
I know
team.
Sergio. I
Sergio
met
Zeiderman.
Sergio.
Yeah, you met
yeah,
Sergio.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like Sergio.
He's a good dude. He's in Japan right now, but apparently
Hmm.
he's flying to New York for the race. But
Wow, that's going to be fun.
yeah. So it'll be cool.
Do you think Johnny will make it, Zuckerman?
No. No,
You think this is it? His number's up?
it is. Look at him puffing on that cigar like that.
This is
Look
part
at-
of his training.
Yes.
Yeah, oxygen deprivation.
He just sewed a microphone into his helmet and smoked 10 cigars. And ate how much Mexican food?
Not that
Pounds.
much. Not that
More
much.
than a gold bar.
Not as much as Spike. Spike was going to town.
I was starving.
Yeah.
Absolutely starving.
And it was excellent.
Yeah, it was really good.
A couple of listeners have come into town and said, "What is that Mexican food you guys are always talking about?" And I said, "Los Anaya on Adams Boulevard in between West and Buckingham."
Get the torta. That torta was good. Carne
You like
asada
that word.
torta.
Get the torta. To a group of people around the world that are not going here.
He's giving out the address. I'm saying if you go, get the torta.
3 people have said to me,
Oh my God.
what does the owl eat? So I feel like I must take up showtime discussing owl food. But you do have an owl update
I
for
do
us.
have I have an
He
owl
says
update.
before the show, by the way, I've got to update the owl. I go, oh, great. That's this week's contribution by Zuckerman. Another owl story. Yes, please. I want to hear it.
After it loofed, I shared about the JFK or Robert Kennedy Jr. and the little
fantastic story, by the way.
about the screech owl. The screech owl, and then
RFK had called you, or you had spoken, and you said you thought it was because he gave an owl to somebody in the neighborhood.
No. He called me about law. He's a lawyer. I'm a lawyer. But then I said, you gave that kid in the neighborhood an owl? You gave him an owl?
Yes.
I wanted an owl. You gave him an owl?
Yes.
And you have to have all sorts of licenses to have things like
no
owl.
idea, but go on.
Yeah, and he goes, I said, you gave him an owl? And he goes, it's just a little screech owl. and so the owl didn't die at the hands of the family dog. All right, the owl died in a different fashion. The owl flew across the room into the mirror, knocked itself out, and dropped into the fish tank and drowned the poor owl. So that's
At RFK's house?
No, at the kid's house.
At the kid's house.
At the kid's house. So that's like editor's note. This is corrections. Right. Editor's corrections. Right. The dog didn't shred the owl.
Right. The fish
owl,
got it.
The owl.
And how does he get involved in this?
RFK Jr. he's living in the neighborhood.
He's got owls.
He's got owls. And the kid in the neighborhood that was my son's friend that liked to collect the snakes and the lizards.
I'm so confused.
I'm not. I think it's great.
But where did this owl fly into the tank and drown? At the kid's house?
Bedroom,
so this was after RFK gave him the owl.
RFK gave him the owl. Then the kid is the owl.
But RFK never said how he procured such owl.
No.
Said owl.
He's constantly stealing wildlife. He has a fucking whale head.
Right. So
an owl's nothing.
RFK is in the neighborhood. He's got some kids. They're the age of the other kids.
When does the show start? Is this pre-show?
Hey kid, you want a bear?
Hey kid, you want it's just a little screech owl. And then the kid
Come into the pantry. I want to show you something. What is it? It's a baby elephant. I stole it from the zoo.
It's the head.
It's just a head. What the fuck? Well, this is his latest news. Win a day of falconry with RFK Jr. and Don Jr. This is not a joke. This is a fundraiser.
Let's win. That would be great. How do we win?
He's leaning into the animal thing. This is just today.
Yes.
This is what he's out there selling to raise money for the Republicans.
If the falcon takes one of their eyes out, particularly the guy on the right, then I'd be really happy.
I got really excited, though, when I saw the picture because that falcon is really thick and it looked like an owl. It looked like they picked the wrong bird.
RFK looks like Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah. Can you imagine?
No.
He's got a vial of blood
To show up with these two insane humans and falcons.
And a bird of prey.
Take this meat over by the hill.
In breathtaking Hudson Valley. With me, Donald Trump Jr.
I've been in a roadkill for years.
I show you my special collection. Animal heads in the trunk. I got some cool things here. You want to see? I like it. You're the winner. Where do you see it?
Don't vaccinate your alligators.
You ever see an alligator rectum? I got one right here in my pocket. Look.
The camel has autism. He got vaccinated.
Wait, you have an alligator rectum in your pocket? Yeah, I got two. You want to see? I don't worry. I still got a intestine attached to it. I just pulled it off. Look at Zuckerman. He's going. That's your impression of RFK. I'm doing back to you.
Brainworms.
This may have been
the world is insane right now. It's insane.
Fucking nuts.
It's nuts. I'm driving. There are a couple of cool cars we're driving. I'm in another Corsetti Cruiser, which is 1990s Land
Cruiser.
Land Cruiser, sorry, yeah. With an LS3 engine swap, Corvette motor, 430 horsepower, I think, maybe a little less. 6.2 liter Chevy or Toyota automatic transmission. They didn't tell me. But it's got that retro paint job and an original interior, and it is just stopping traffic on the west side with the parents. Just stopping traffic.
Yep.
You know, if you remember Brian Corsetti, great guy, was addicted to these Land Cruisers.
Addicted.
He had them in his backyard, and his wife said, "Look, I'm going to divorce you. I'm done with you. You got to do something with these trucks." I don't know if she said she was getting divorced. And
That happened to me today with my Hot Wheels.
He called Leno, and Leno said, "Why don't you turn it into a business?" And he said, "Good idea." And he turns it into Corsetti Cruisers. And the wife says, "Great, you're making money. I'm fine." And now everything's great. But this one is just really special looking. Like everywhere I'm taking it, from picking up kids to the tennis courts, it's just like, what is it? What is that? Why does it look that way? How do I get it? This one's not too expensive for these things. It's, I think $210.
Yeah, that's sort of on the low
end.
You can go a little lower with Corsetti.
And it's, you know, what I like about it is he did the interior like a normal Land Cruiser interior. It just looks like, you look at it, it's a 1990 Land Cruiser inside. The exterior looks like that. The suspension's all new underneath. The tires, obviously. The wheels, I think, were original to the car.
Did he address the steering at all? Or does it
The
have the old
steering,
box?
you know, this one only has a few miles on it, so it's a customer car. And he said, "Why don't you drive it and give it?" He knows how nuts we all are about finishing cars.
Yeah.
He goes, "This car's like 98%. Just give me a list of stuff. Just keep sending me stuff." And frankly, there wasn't really that much wrong with it, but there were little tiny things. And I said, "The steering's a little loosey-goosey in the front." They came to the driveway and tightened it up, and it still needs. But most of these trucks with these big bouncy tires, they have this problem where they roam a little bit, but it's all adjustable.
What they need to do is like whatever the new Jeep has for steering, because the Jeep's going to have even bigger wheels and tires, but it tracks straight. They need a better steering box.
Well, I would say the same thing for my new Bronco. That seems to stay. Basically stay between the lines.
And you have you have the Sasquatch pack on.
And I do.
So,
right. And that's what I kind of expect from that, especially when I've got this kick-ass motor that turns on and just goes.
For $210,000, put the Jeep or the Bronco steering box or something. Modern steering box.
But you know, it's got a new radio in it and CarPlay, and it's. I wish I knew what the transmission was, but it's like a push button. It looks like a stick shift. You just pull it down. It just works great.
Nice.
And makes a good sound. And again, like the love I'm getting from my suburban LA community.
Oh, when I had that
is up in the, you know, I should come up with a rating scale for how much attention I get from the people who are the audience for this car, and this one's way up at the top.
Like 10 spikes.
you know, just like would these people, would my neighbors and the people I associate with open their wallet? And the answer is yes. And it's mostly the non-car people,
right?
Who just want to be a fun mom, fun dad car, you know, to drive.
It's the right shape.
With.
It's the right paint scheme.
Yeah,
it's very evocative of the time.
And then, of course, everybody's now writing about the new Land Cruiser. Because I took a picture of somebody had a new one next to me, and I took a picture of both. And have I driven it? I haven't. Have you driven it?
Do you like that look?
I do. I kind of do. Yeah, I kind of do.
Yeah, I've driven it. It's really good. I would say the two things about the new Land Cruiser. There's a $57,000 one that has the same engine as like the $78,000 one, and you really struggle to see where that extra $20,000 goes. So it's kind of
feeds
like
your ego. That's where it goes.
If you can get it for like 57 with the cloth seats, that's an awesome Land Cruiser. The fully loaded first edition $78,000 one's a bit of a harder sell. Plus, I don't think the front end looks as good because the $57,000 one has the 58 headlights, round, and then the first edition has like the rectangular headlights, very 80s. So, but it is good. It's very good. I think.
What do you think of the back end treatment?
It's fine. It's not a design knockout. The problem is it shares everything hardpoint with the Lexus version, the GX. And I think the Lexus looks better. I think it's a better product. And it's kind of the same money. And you get a 6-cylinder instead of a 4-cylinder. So, like, get the Lexus. So that's what I would say. But the new Land Cruiser,
it has the word Lexus on it.
Yeah, but it's a GX.
Lexus.
It's cool.
Lexus.
It's cool.
There's some words that are hard to drive around with, and Lexus is one of them for me. Hyundai used to be, and I'm now starting to like Hyundai.
Yeah.
Some of the kids in my neighborhood, their dads are buying them the Ioniq 5, and they love them. They love them.
They're great cars.
Yeah.
Weird look.
No, but they love these cars. The parents love that they're charging them. They're not all that expensive. They work right. The kids love them.
Yeah, it's a good car.
They're good. You know what I did today? I bought one of those Thule racks.
Oh, yeah?
My son's like, I got to put my canoe. So years ago, my son goes to canoe camp. I bought him this canoe, right?
Yeah.
I thought, oh, this would be great. He loves canoe camp. I'm going to buy him a canoe. I met this guy somewhere in the valley. He goes, oh, yeah, I just came back from Mammoth. We never used the canoe. I go, I'm buying your canoe. And I had to somehow bring it home on my Defender, which was really hard. It almost fell off on the 405.
That would have been fantastic.
And then it just sat in the backyard for years. It just sat there. And remember, I was trying to get the rack for the Defender to do a canoe.
I remember.
I did one canoe run.
Of course.
Most of the day was us getting the canoe onto the Defender and off of the Defender, and then paddling was hard. And I said, that's it. We went up to Lake Hughes or something.
No more canoe.
No more canoe.
Oh.
And then, so Jack never forgot it. Thanks, Dad. Making good dad memories. He gets his Crosstrek and he goes, look, now that I got my own Subaru, I want to put that canoe on and take it out and go to Marina Del Rey and go out canoeing with my friends.
Boy.
So we got the rack, Thule rack system. And today was the day we put it on. Many surprises in that little Thule rack kit.
Oh my God, I have a Thule rack ski kit for my truck. It's a fucking nightmare.
So they, instead of doing most of the assembly they could do before they put it in the box, the little pieces of rubber and the rest of it,
It's just chucked in
there's
there.
a little QR code, and you go like this, and there's just this little video comes up, and it's just music like loo, 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 with a rubber sailing into the rail, and the screws sail in like that. And of course, none of it is true. It's all like, wait a minute, how does that work? It doesn't.
Yep.
But it was so fun. It took us about an hour, and we got it up, and it looks good, and it was great. And I said to him, I go, that was so fun, Jack.
What did he say?
He said it was great. He really enjoyed it. And I said, look at it now. It's just dumb car crap. Look at us. I was leaving tonight. I'm like, oh, look at that Subaru with the rack we put on it. It made me love that car and love the rack system.
Because I tried to put the ski rack on the back of the truck.
Oh, yeah.
Right before, I'm like, we're leaving in a half hour. I'm like, oh, honey, no problem. I'll put the ski rack on.
Yeah.
And like 20 minutes later, I'm kicking all the pieces back into the garage.
See, I had to
Fuck
wait
this.
for a day where, like, all the tennis got blown out today.
Oh.
I didn't have to work today. There was no writing I had to get done. So I had to wait for that day and then tell myself, don't be frustrated, Dad, in front of the kid.
that's
Just
tough.
roll with it and try to make it fun. And it did. It worked.
Okay.
You have to pick the right moment.
I wish we could go
Parenting
back in
advice.
time and you could tell my father, Harvey, don't be stressed out, Dad. Be fun, Dad, because it was never fun.
You know when you're staring at those directions
Yeah.
or you've got little kids and you're trying to put together the furniture and the kids watching you, you're like, motherfucker, none of these the screw doesn't work. Where's that washer?
Yeah.
There's only 3.
Yeah.
There
My
was
dad
so
would
many
scream
of those.
first and smoke 20 cigarettes.
Because
fuck, fucking piece of shit.
Yeah. That's me. That's me.
Yeah. But if you prepare yourself for days psychologically, you can get through it. And actually, there were the Thule YouTube videos do not help you. They're not helpful. But there's one or two guys there on YouTube every time who goes, "Here's what you do. This is all you need to do."
So I did none of that. I had some Chinese map of the universe.
Oh, man, it's
that I was
terrible.
like, what the? It was awful. Nothing even sort of went together.
See, I have a guy now if I get into trouble. There's one of those apps for home something assembly.
Right.
His name is Patrick.
Got
I don't
it.
know who he is, but
Sure.
he's a genius. Mm-hmm. You just call him. Like we have I did casement windows last week. There are these old casement windows that open up, and the window is jammed, as casement windows will be.
Always.
And as I opened it, it went, and all of the lead metal spools on the gear just broke off. And I did the whole job. But I called Patrick, and I go, look, I might screw this whole thing up. So make a plan to come next week, but I'm going to try it. But I did it with parts from Amazon. I took the windows apart. I sanded them down. I put them back up. I put all the gears in. I matched the whole, and it works perfectly. I couldn't be happier.
That's great.
Look at that, Zuckerman.
Wow, I'm in shock.
It
Gonna
was.
break. He'll have shards in his
Zuckerman
eyes.
had a look on his face as if like, oh, this person's lying to me. as he's
No, I'm
speaking.
not. I'll show you the windows.
Oh.
It's not. It needs a little paint, but I was really proud of myself. I liked it. I'm liking more and more to do things like that.
Grandpa.
Getting my
Grandpa
hands dirty.
things.
Totally. No,
Getting
fixing
handy.
things. Fixing, wrenching.
Yeah.
Doing little things that don't require much time. Like I could never be a mechanic.
Very Wilford Brimley.
I couldn't
Come here,
spend
son.
more than an hour doing this, or really like a long job that would say take 6 hours. Like our friend Marco at TLG, who we gave the Zagato, and I said, here's a bunch of fucked up noises in this thing, and just change the oil and check everything, these little other and he nailed every single little sound.
He's good at that.
He's like, underneath the steering column, there's a clamp, the bracket that holds it in place. You were missing a screw. He said, I found 2 more missing screws with clanking metal. I drove that thing out of your hangar. Perfect.
Really?
Perfect. No problems. No sounds.
Nice.
Even that back brake, who some of our friends were working on, who never fixed that. He took it apart and did a little sanding on it. No more squeak. I was stunned. Marco gets
Well
a shout
done.
out.
Marco TLG.
Yeah.
I've got a little chirping in my blue Cabriolet 993.
It's so worth it. And getting back to Brian Corsetti, to his credit, he's one of these guys. I want you to tell me everything. No, he said to me, he goes, no one will tell me the truth.
Right.
I go, you want the truth? All right, I'll give it to you. It's going to be annoying, but it's all going to be little stuff. And trust me, when a guy like me gets that truck, they're going to be in love with you. And you're going to sell 1 million of these things because you're going to be one of those guys who finishes the job, not one of the 95 percenters, we call them. 95 percenters. Here it is, 95% done. He's dedicated to getting it 100% done. And I gave him those notes. And he's like, great. What else?
Yeah, I mean, that's when I had that one, same thing.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Yep.
Like Blue Chew.
Blue Chew.
Yes.
Do you like Hot Wheels?
Yes.
Well, then, you're going to like Blue Chew. Because you're at the age where you need Blue Chew, Hot Wheels fans. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra, Cialis, and Levitra, but at a fraction of the cost and in a chewable form. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. I believe I got approved right away. It was right on the call.
They could tell. Here's a man in need.
No, it was just a fun conversation. I actually want to go do it again. I just enjoyed it. Because there's the nervousness of what you think is going to happen, and then you just realize,
What do you
whatever.
think is going to happen?
I don't know.
Dick out.
Show me.
No, people get embarrassed.
Prove it.
They get embarrassed about these things.
I'm embarrassed now.
She goes, tell me, what do you need this? I go, I do. She goes, why? I go, because they're my sponsor and they told me to get some. But do you need it? I go, I don't, but I'll take it.
Yeah, he does.
Weren't we going to take it on the show? We did take it on the show.
Did we? No, I pretended to eat.
No,
I ate Captain Crunch as if it was Blue Chew.
I did take it once because I didn't know how these drugs worked. I thought they made you into sex crazed like RFKs.
No, that's if you drink Zuckerman's blood.
But no. Anyways, you don't have to visit a doctor's office. It's great. Blue Chew, big fans of Spike's Car Radio, and we're big fans of theirs. Blue Chew wants to help you have better sex. Discover your options at BlueChew.com. And here's our special deal for you, Hot Wheels fans. Try Blue
Around,
Chew.
kids.
Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code Spike911. Mattel's never going to give me that movie now.
Nope, it's gone.
Spike911 at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code Spike911 to receive your first month free. Who is doing didn't we say there was going to be a
Matchbox movie
Matchbox movie?
for some reason.
Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety information. We thank Blue Chew for sponsoring the show. I have Dear Zuckerman letters, too. There's so much to get to here.
I got a bunch of car
I know you do.
stuff.
We'll get there.
Okay.
There's other things to discuss.
There is.
Fans are sending us stuff nonstop.
Oh, those fans.
I don't want to spend too much time on the bullshit of the Tesla We Robot event, but Jesus Christ.
So the robots were fake. They were being controlled
I
by humans.
got a couple messages. Hey, you going to be here? And I'm like, look, the minute Elon Musk was dancing like a fool on stage with Donald Trump, I'm out. And Johnny, I called you and I said, what? I need to drive a Rivian.
Yes.
Because my Tesla days are done.
Yeah.
They're done.
Yeah.
And it's not even because of his support of this guy, but it kind of is. It's mostly do you remember Howard Dean? The Democrat.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you remember him?
Him dancing?
Him when he gave that rousing speech.
Yes.
And then he made a weird sound. He went, and that was the end of him.
Why? He was great. Why did we? What was wrong with us?
He made that sound and his poll numbers plummeted.
And they plummeted. Well, guess what? When I saw Elon Musk jumping up and down on stage with his stupid stomach there, that was it. That was the end of it for me. I've put up with a lot from that idiot, but.
Yeah.
Then this. I'm not even going to talk about the We Robot event. But look, suffice it to say, it was a Wizard of Oz. It was a bunch of nothing. It was a bunch of guys with RC controllers controlling a bunch of bullshit
Yeah,
that they're not even sure they're going to make, and that's the end of that. I don't even want to talk about it. Fuck
Yeah, and 2-seat taxis.
Fuck them.
Fuck that guy. By the way, Franz, I love you. Franz von Holzhausen, you're fantastic.
You're going to get a lot of hate mail.
Tesla, you are fantastic. Get rid of the idiot ruining your business. What's happening to Twitter is going to happen to you guys, and it's going to be a real shit. Hold on, you're talking on top of me. What's happening to Tesla, because in here it doesn't sound right when you talk on top of people. What's happening to Tesla is what's happening to Twitter is going to happen to Tesla. This guy's going to drag down a good company. Tesla is a good company.
It's happening to Tesla. If you look at EV sales in California, Hyundai's up 60% year on year. Rivian's up 70%.
Yeah.
Everyone's up. Ford's up 30%. Mercedes is up. Who's down? Tesla.
I want to be
They're
excited.
down.
I wanted to be excited about their whole thing and everything they're doing, but unfortunately, you've got an idiot ruining it for everybody. You can't separate his stupidity and what he's doing out in the world with your company, and it's time for him to go. Time for him to go. And if he wants to come on the show and talk about it, he can. But he's been invited many times, and he never shows up. And for good reason.
For some reason.
I will freely admit, maybe we're not big enough, and that's fine.
That's fine.
But this is a bit of tough love for Tesla. Tough love. I'm breaking it off with them. I'm breaking it off until they fix this problem.
All right.
All right?
Done.
Now, if anybody
Next.
wants to buy a blue Model Y.
Low miles.
But I did call Rivian up.
And?
They're super excited.
Yeah.
They are getting a lot of business because of this.
Yeah, they really are.
And they're sending me that new SUV in a couple weeks.
Also,
and here's what I said to them. I go, you know what? Johnny Lieberman is one of your greatest ambassadors. He believed in you before even I believed in you. And so I gave you a nice compliment to them. And they said very nice things about you.
Oh, good. I love my truck. I also drove through Santa Monica and Malibu the other day, and the Rivian's taken over. They're just they're everywhere.
Well,
It's crazy.
Guess why?
Yeah, it's really good.
It's when people turn away from Tesla, it's the brand people are turning to.
Yeah,
I think they went to Mercedes for a second, but they hit or miss with the software on those things.
And like Tesla, Rivian software is just so good. You know how you wake up and there's new toys in your car? Rivian does that even better than Tesla was doing it. So it's fun to own.
Do you think this software is secure?
Oh, no. Let's not get there. There's a lot of pushback on all of those weird theories you guys have.
Some of it's secure.
Tinfoil hat, bullshit.
I don't know.
I don't think blow up pagers.
Yeah, I mean, there was somebody.
No, let's not go there.
Okay, fine.
I hope when my phone blows up, we're talking to each other. I hope that I go, Spike, my face is on the ceiling. Help me. No, I can't. Mine is too.
I know I pushed the button to make it happen.
Why is my face
I'm
on the
gonna
ceiling?
exploding microphones for you two. That's what I'm going to make happen. I press one of these buttons right here.
Good.
Bam.
Blows your face off.
That's some innovation.
That would be pretty good. Here was the other interesting thing. Again, the timepiece gentleman's in the news. Yes, we know. But that's just because its court case is proceeding. But apparently he ripped people off to the tune of $6 million. But he's admitting to all of it.
Okay.
Boo.
He's an honest crook.
He pled guilty. He did. I mean, I don't know. He's at least admitting what he did wrong. And he's pleading guilty.
Is it sincere?
He pleaded guilty.
Okay.
He's saving us taxpayer money by not putting us through a trial. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not.
He is.
How much time is he going to get?
He's each count that I read he could get 20 years for, but he won't do that.
That's a lot of time.
I mean, $6 million's a lot of money.
But don't you think, Zuckerman, when someone goes before the court and goes, "Look, I'm going to spare you the trial and I'm going to plead guilty," that's. I mean, you tell me.
It's helpful. Yes, it saves taxpayer money, and
I'm going to say 4 years. He gets 4 years
for that.
$6 million.
You go into a liquor store and take $200, and you could or $2,000, you could get 20 years.
Yeah,
this white collar swindling really gets a pass, and I don't disagree.
It totally gets a pass, Zuckerman.
Yeah,
there was someone
years.
in our old neighborhood who I know very well who made off with $13 million. Fake stocks sold to elderly folks over the phone. Went to Canada, and I talked to somebody who is in law enforcement about it. $13 million is not enough for us to
enough.
care. Not enough for us to care.
Listen, Sam Bankman-Fried, $8 billion. He got 25
that
years,
motherfucker, yeah.
and his gal.
2 years.
Yeah, 2.
Or 18 months or something.
Something really
Yeah,
low.
really
In
low.
prison, that's it.
That's it.
She turned state's evidence. She testified against him.
Yeah, she was a rat.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was a rat.
She's
And meanwhile, on my Nextdoor app, everybody's freaking out because we saw a guy steal a Gillette razor in CVS.
Yeah.
What's wrong? What's happened to LA?
Yeah.
Well, they're just taking lessons from their betters. Yeah.
Every time they do that, like there's a homeless person who's done something wrong or breaks into a car. Oh, homeless people must go. I always go, there's a finance guy down the street from me who stole $100 million. All white people on the west side must go. They all must go.
Yeah.
They all must go. And I show
Exactly.
my wife before I'm kicked off next door. I'm getting kicked off next door over and over again. But it's
Excellent.
just now fun. Just fun. But the hypocrisy is insane.
Yeah.
Insane. Hopefully things quiet down soon. Can't wait. I can't wait for November 6th or 7th just for everything to quiet down.
Well, unless, anyways, yes.
Yeah. But then the vice president can certify whatever results she wants.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. But I just mean I don't want to read political news anymore. Any of it. I don't want to
Any of it, no.
Go whoever wins, just go do your fucking jobs. And leave us out of it.
I want 3 years of not getting 50 text messages a day begging for
Yes,
money. That's
yes.
all I really want.
Look, both sides are guilty of that.
Like,
It's
Big
nonstop.
time,
Jesus
big
Christ.
time.
I mean,
It's ding, 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 ding all day long.
All day long.
Yes. Anyways, here's. Did you guys see this article in the Wall Street Journal? The anti-status watch is back in, or is in for the first time. Why men in finance love cheap, cheesy watches.
what?
This is something I've noticed with me too. The ultimate trading floor flex right now is a Snoopy watch or a Casio calculator. Why lots of men still favor these novelty watches. This guy named McDonough is apparently one of these rich Wall Street idiots. Bought the kooky Timex for Valentine's Day trip about 5 years ago, along with a matching model depicting Lucy Van Pelt for his then girlfriend. To his surprise, he kept wearing the $150 watch after the trip. It's now my business watch. Adding nonchalantly, I'm under no obligation to be flashy. I have nothing to prove to anyone. And the fun thing is, a lot of people notice my watch. This,
As he climbs into his Bentley.
but I'm telling you, this is what I look.
Yeah, Sheffield. They should buy
I'm
Sheffield.
wearing Sheffield. I'm wearing Swatch. I'm wearing all of these watches more. I had someone come up to me and say, who can't afford a Rolex. He goes, I always wanted a Rolex, but I went to this car show. Everybody was wearing one, and I thought, no, he went to the U.S. Open. I went to the U.S. Open. Everybody has a Rolex on. I don't want to be one of those guys.
That's right.
It's really interesting, and when you wear a watch that's affordable, it's approachable, and people talk to you about it. Nobody comes up to you and talks to you about your Rolex. I will to you, Zuckerman. But
Right.
when you're out in the world, it's kind of an FU. It's kind of a stay away from me. It's kind of it can be used to attract other things, but it's not a watch of the people. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, it is in my opinion, it is the ultimate watch for personal injury lawyer.
Yeah, it's also
Yeah,
Sure.
as part of the uniform.
I think it's the ultimate power flex to not wear one, because you're comfortable enough and with yourself and who you are to just.
But do you remember at the last Luft that we did, and I was wearing a Seiko, and you guys had your Rolexes, and I got stopped by like a gang of custom Seiko guys, and you were staring at me like I was an alien because there was like 4 of us like comparing modified Seikos.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'd still do that about modified Seikos. We're not talking about modified Seikos.
Why not? That's $500.
There's a purity to the Omega Swatch that there isn't to the.
Okay.
Look, Sheffields have Seiko movements in them.
Yeah, no,
So that
yeah.
is really where I've now connected with Seiko.
Okay.
And I have no problem with Seiko.
Okay.
But I've noticed in my own life, all of my watch conversations are now about these watches that cost between, I would say, $150 and $500, and I like it.
And when I bought my Seiko, I'm giving you shit here, but when I bought my my Seiko Tuna,
Yes.
you were like, that's like bragging about buying a Kia.
Yes, but that was years ago. But that was before my taste changed.
Okay.
Before somebody.
I'm talking about
Okay.
now.
And now look at the Wall Street Journal.
Okay.
But I've changed.
Good. That's growth
can
is
change.
important. Yeah,
I
good.
thought it was just me. See, I get excited about these trends. When I just noticed that these trends that people are doing, like when we were in Monterey, and suddenly it was all about hypercars and resto mods. I find that interesting, and I find this whole watch trend really interesting too. And I think it's good news for our friends at Sheffield.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
very good. Well, I mean that also is the ultimate value. I mean, that you get such a good watch for no money. It's incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the new one. I designed a new one that's coming out in a couple weeks. I think in a couple weeks,
Nice.
and I've named it after one of my favorite dive locations.
Dive locations?
These are dive watches, Johnny.
You go diving?
Well, it's a dive watch.
Okay, but have you been
So I
diving?
named it. Well, I go scuba diving.
You
yeah,
do?
When you swim on top there.
I-
What is snorkeling?
Yeah, I don't do that.
I don't want to put the tanks on. That's too much commitment. That's too much of an outfit.
You're gonna die. Sharks gonna.
I
bite
like
it.
to
Yeah.
I like to just put on the
I stay out of the ocean.
snorkel, put on the little mask, go look at a turtle.
I put on the dive watch and go driving.
But I like to get the watch wet. I like to take it under the salt water.
I take a shower.
And that's what this company's about. So I'm very excited about this release.
And what is your favorite snorkeling spot?
Well, I don't want to blow the secret yet.
Okay.
But one of the things that I do enjoy when I go to go to Hawaii or one of these beach communities is just floating in the water and looking at fish and chilling out. That's it. Jumping off a boat,
I like to
jumping
drink-
into the water and looking at creatures
I like
and
to
just
drink
chilling.
Pineapples filled with alcohol.
Yeah, that's not bad either.
Okay. On the beach.
Looking at the sights.
Looking at the
But-
sitting on the beach doing nothing.
Have you ever taken a dive watch into salt water on a hot sunny day? It's a great feeling if you're a watch
No.
enthusiast.
God no. The ocean's filled with whale shit and
Really?
I don't like the ocean. I like
Oh,
boats
man.
on top of the ocean.
Some of my best kind of beachy ocean memories involve watches jumping in and then looking at it and how the sun hits it and stuff.
Last time I was in the ocean, I was in Santa Cruz. I was trying to learn how to surf, and I'm in this horrible wetsuit. I stand up on the board, rip my big toenail off, and I'm in massive pain. I'm lying on the board, bleeding into the ocean, and all I can think about is how many great whites are off the coast of
You
Santa
don't
Cruz.
have a surfer's body.
Yeah, I sure don't.
No.
Horrible. Fuck the ocean.
All right, let me just cover these stories really quick. Then you can tell me about the electric G-Wagon.
Well, I got all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
And then we're going to do a commercial, and then we're going to do Dear Zuckerman. How's that? Does that sound like a
Yeah.
fine rest of show rundown?
Yes.
Sounds just
Lots of you folks. And here's what I'm doing now when people are sending me the same story. I just write back to you what number you are of the person that sent me. 13th. Like, so if you just get 13th, you're the 13th person that sent me this story.
Did you get? Can I ask? Did you get the Rivian that floated in North Carolina story?
Yes, 100
Because I got
times.
that 100 fucking times.
I did.
Yeah.
It was impressive.
Yeah.
Made me love Rivian.
Yeah, they're waterproof.
Did you get Cookie Monster? Caught
No.
speeding in Germany?
Yes,
No.
that was fantastic. Fantastic.
Missed it.
Cookie Monster was on his way to get sweet treats. There's a suspect in Germany dressed as the Cookie Monster speeding in Dortmund, Germany,
Dortmund
traveling at this is Germany, 60 miles an hour. Wow, 7 miles an hour over the speed limit, dressed as the Cookie Monster. And if you look at it, you can't see how he can see through the eyes. You're like wondering what he's doing. Police officer spokesman Peter Banderman said in a statement, no sense of humor here. The fun of wearing a mask from the Muppet Show can quickly turn serious.
Oh,
It won't help the relatives of someone who was killed if the person responsible tearfully regrets the fun of wearing a mask in court.
oh, Peter, you made your point. Oh, Peter.
Well done, Banderman.
Meet Deutsch ist Schleich.
Banderman. Listen,
Schleich?
Banderman, listen closely. You had the attention of the world for a second, and you could have really endeared yourself to everyone.
Ubel, ubel, ubel.
But you are Dick Banderman.
Boring dick.
Ubel.
I've got a little bit of an edge tonight. I don't know why.
It's that cigar.
Is that nicotine?
No,
Is
it's
that
not.
nicotine
I've
left
had it
hand?
all day. I've had it all day.
Uh-oh.
Go back to doing your RFK impression.
Spike gone wild.
Do it.
Go take a look inside the sack. Why would I do that? Go out and look at the sack right here. I got 25 tufted titmouse heads in there.
Hey, RFK, do you like Cookie Monster? Do you ever steal whale carcasses dressed as Grover?
Oh, you're eating right now is alpaca scrotum.
What? What the fuck are you talking about?
My neighbor has alpacas and I yank the scrotums off for my own amusement. Because, I like roadkill.
I got attacked by an alpaca today, actually.
What?
I went to a petting zoo.
The show is so out of mess. The other thing that was making me laugh is
He's holding this cigar.
The roach clip.
It's like a roach clip.
No, it is a roach clip. It's a cigar roach clip.
the abandoned Fisker headquarters is cracking me up too. Another story. No one sent me that. I noticed it. KTLA, which has all the funny crime news. It's just a mess. There are squatters in there. There's a bunch of unhoused people, and there's a bunch of parts, and there's like clay models of the Fisker laying around, and chairs and desks and computers,
And everyone's gone.
and homeless people smoking crack.
Hey.
It's fantastic.
What a great place to smoke crack.
I don't even have commentary for that. It just made me laugh.
It's going to be back again. This is an idea that won't die, and it's fantastic. People will throw money away on this one more time. I predict
Fisker?
at least there's going to be somebody comes along and ruins
Do
it all over
you
again.
have the ocean still?
No. So what happened was there was a federal recall on it, like a safety recall. So the whatever corporation now owns the assets of Fisker had to take it back from us, from Motor Trend. So they have it. Will we ever see it again? Probably not. So sadly,
Who's going to be driving it?
well, that's the thing. The skeleton of Fisker had to take it all the Fiskers back because there was a safety recall.
Wow.
So
It's weird, yeah.
yeah.
Just evaporated.
These companies just stop, and if you got the stuff, it's yours. It just stays
You have a
with you.
garage full of that.
I got a garage full of it. We've been selling everything.
Good.
We're moving into crazy electric motorcycle town. So I had the kids put it all up for sale, and I
Nice.
said, let's sell all of this and let's focus on the new
Get the new shit.
the Stark Vargs, the Talaria MX-5, all of these really cool electric motorcycles, and we have the Santa Cruzes that are still on loan from Santa Cruz, and we ride those right now, mountain biking, which is great.
I got saved by two kids on electric EVs the other day, electric motorcycles.
Oh yeah, what does that mean?
I took the electric G off-roading.
Oh yeah. Tell us
Yeah.
about that.
All right, so you know how everyone has noticed that you're in the Corsetti Cruiser? Nobody has noticed I'm driving the only electric G-Wagon
Really?
in the country. Yeah.
Is there any badging, any indication?
A little tiny thing that says like EQ, you would never know, and like the grill's a little different, but it just looks the engineers.
Wait, can you let's back up for a second, because when you first step into this electric G-Wagon, because those things are they're like such tanks and machines. When you close the door, does it sound like a G-Wagon?
It's exactly the same door.
Okay.
It's exactly
then
the same.
what is the first thing that tells you that it's electric? What is the first different thing about it?
On the main screen, the leftmost menu is a big blue EQ. That's the
EQ.
EQ. Remember Mercedes EQ, the EQS? So
Yeah, right.
EQ's their
Okay.
electric menu.
Yeah, right.
But it has a feature called G-Roar, and that's a sound thing that mimics the sound of I guess it's a V8. And so it just sounds, and it's unlike, say, the Ioniq 5N, which, like, it's like a car sound through whatever. This really feels like you're sitting in an idling V8. Like you feel it down kind of below your butt. That's where the exhaust pipes on a gas one are.
Does it vibrate a little bit?
Yeah, you get a little rumble, and and then as you floor it, you get induction noise, and it's an engine noise. You can turn it off, and it's silent, but that's on by default, or at least when I.
And what do you prefer to drive it in? Which mode? The silent mode?
It's so natural that for the first time in an EV, I like the artificial noise because it just sounds like a little V8, which is a cool little rumble.
You charge it, and how many miles do you get?
Based on how you drive, blah, blah, blah. The best I saw was at 89% charge. It was predicting 241 miles of range. So, if you drive it kind of slowly, it'll do 260, 270, something like that.
Charged at 100%? Where does it go?
That's at 100%, yeah. It would be like 270.
And is it honest charge miles, do you think?
Well, that's the thing. It's predictive. It's based on how you're driving. So somebody else had to drive it to my house on Thursday because of when I went off-roading, it had to spend the night somewhere. I'll get to that. But yeah, it's the engineers were given the task of make an electric G-Wagon. So it's Like they could have made a better vehicle, but they just were stuck with the constraints of a G-Wagon. So it just you honestly wouldn't know. It's kind of like that Rolls-Royce Spectre, where it's like it's just a Rolls-Royce that's electric.
Right.
There's nothing EV about it.
Right.
That's kind of like this.
But there's a huge market for that.
Huge market, and again, it's quick as hell. You know, it's like the Rivian. It's got 4 motors.
What does quick as hell mean?
It's just it's just
What would
quick.
you- like what?
Threes? Probably around there. I mean, it's heavy and it's not. This is the G580, so they haven't announced it, but I know they're gonna do an AMG version.
Yeah.
So this is only like it's 1 more horsepower than the V8 version, and a little bit more torque. There will be like 1,000 horsepower Crazy Pants one that's coming eventually. But yeah, it's great. It's great. But driving it everywhere, and it's just like a normal car that I plug in when it gets down to 20% at my house.
Wow.
So, and it does seem to charge. I went to one public charger. It charges pretty fast.
What kind of money are we talking?
Oh, very expensive. I think it starts at $185.
And you like it?
I like it a lot. And then I went off-roading, and holy fuck balls. It might be better than the Rivian is off-road. I say might because it's on these EV, like all-season tires. It's not on off-road tires. And it's really good. There's a real advantage to EVs off-road, the low center of gravity, the instant torque. And then 4 motors is such a game changer off-road. It's so capable. I'd love to get the off-road pack. Now, this is the first edition or the launch edition or whatever. Doesn't have a spare tire. Instead of a spare tire, it has a square box on the back with a charging cable. So we climbed, it was a Black Diamond trail, Rower Flats. Google it, Black Diamond. It's a tough trail. Made it all the way to the top. We're going down, me and my buddy, we're on basically a dirt road, and I didn't see this rock, and I blew a tire. And yeah, so we had to limp this poor thing, destroyed the wheel. We had to go about a half mile back to the trailhead.
You decided to drive it on the flat.
Had to because we had no cell reception where we were. We had to. And they didn't put a spare on it.
You don't have iOS 18 with the new texting over the satellite?
I don't know. Anyways, I called the Mercedes guy, told him what happened,
and what did they say?
They said, "Oh, that's fine. We'll Karl Heinz is gonna load up a tire in his van and he'll
Isn't
come
that
meet
great?
you."
Oh,
Except it was like 4 hours away. This was like 4:30 in the afternoon.
No, but I always feel bad when I damage one of the.
Oh, totally felt bad. Yeah. So these 2 kids, they were on these electric motorcycles, and they were talking to him. And
what kind of bikes?
I wish I remembered. I can find out. I can't remember. But they were having fun, dirt bikes. And then they had a Ford Ranger, and they drove us to In-N-Out, and I bought them burgers.
Oh, that's nice.
And then they work at Soho Malibu.
They do?
They do.
Wow.
And they said anytime you want to come by, come
Soho
by.
House.
Soho House Malibu.
I just left that place.
Yeah. Well,
Not because of them. You just joined, right?
Well, if you call 2 years ago or 3 years ago, just yes.
I was just at Soho, West Hollywood, and had a nice lunch there, but it was empty. The last time I was there, but right before I left that club, it looked like a Starbucks. It was just a bunch. It was just you couldn't even sit. You couldn't get anywhere.
Oh, at Malibu?
No.
it's-
And so I went to Malibu. I said, just transfer my membership over there. I want to be in Malibu. And then Malibu was nice too, but then I never went there. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to be part of this group anymore.
So Nick and Matt rescued us, and then the next day I had the Pagani Utopia.
No, I saw that.
And we're driving by, and I'm telling the guy in the car with me, because they make you have a guy in the car because it's a $3.5 million car. And I told him the story about I was rescued by kids. He's like, pull in. So we pull in, and I'm like, hey, is Nick and Matt here? And so only Nick was there. Nick comes out. He's like, holy shit. I'm like, I told you.
Oh,
I'd
that's
visit.
great.
Yeah, it was fun.
How was that Pagani?
Oh, dude, it's good. It's good.
Was Matt Farah driving that?
He
as well?
drove the day before I did. Yeah. It's
I want to drive it.
$3.5 million good?
Yeah. I will say this. It's the automatic. 70 to 80% of them will actually be the manual. They only had one manual working. It's in Italy on the Raduno right now. So it's the same problem that the Wyra had, where it's that drunken single clutch. It just clumsily upshifts. Downshift's fine. When you're driving really fast and hard, the transmission's fine. Just around town, it's jerky. Manual, which was what 70 to 80% of them will be, obviously won't have that problem. But it's just a mature look. It's the same, like 250 guys buy these things year in, year out, right? So the Wyra is a bit boy racer. It's like, it's a little aggressive. This one, it's a little bit wider. There's a little more room. It's a little more elegant. It's exactly what it needs to be. And it's 864 horsepower, 811 pound-feet of torque. It weighs less than 3,000 pounds. Carbon fiber, every single fucking thing. It's amazing. It drives fantastic. So yeah, it's and they're making 90 or 99 coupes and like 120, 130 convertibles. So, it's a good business model. It works for them.
At the Quail, that's where all the excitement was, Pagani.
And this one's super good looking because the one they showed was like this bone color. It's kind of like this light cream. And it has like, tinted roof panels. It just looked weird to have like black spots on the roof.
Right.
And this one that I drove is like, it's like an amber colored carbo titanium. So it has like a brown tint to it with the dark glass. It looks really good. Looks really, really good.
Doing the math on that, so that's like what it's almost $1 billion a year of sales on these things.
Well, they can only build like 40 a year. So.
So less.
Yeah.
Significantly less.
Yeah. But it's great. You'd love it. It was just a wonderful thing to be in.
I'll tell you what car I saw like about an hour ago that I didn't even know existed that kind of threw me a little bit was that new 12-cylinder Ferrari. The 12, what is it?
Cylindry. 12 cylindry.
I've heard it pronounced
Dodici
Calindri,
Cilindri.
too. Look at this thing, Zuckerman. Look at the front of that. It looks like your Daytona.
Yep.
This car, and they had one in yellow, and Top Gear was doing a piece on it, driving it.
That was Jewish racing gold. That's a very good color.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I looked at the car and I went, oh. And I had a pang for the first time in a while for a new Ferrari. And I watched that I don't even know who the host was. He had like an afternoon just driving it, and I just fast forwarded right to the driving part.
Was he bald?
I don't know. I don't know who.
Could have been Ollie, but
very young guy.
James.
He was doing a little bit of his travelogue, and here I am in the hotel room, and I'm like, fast forward. Just show me the car, and then it makes a beautiful sound.
Yeah.
The front end looks great.
You guys like the front end?
I love this front end. When I saw it on the car, and it's not right in this color here, the silver, but with the yellow,
the gold's good, yeah,
or with the dark blue like your car, it was a really nice design cue. It really sent me for a little bit. Maybe that's why I'm so angry, because it costs $500,000.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's $500,000. Yeah,
yeah, it's $500,000.
Yeah,
and it sounds really good.
Yeah, it's the same 12.
And I did that car guy thing where for a second I'm there, I've got it on the big screen, and I started going, what would my life be like with this car?
Right.
I need to get one of those giant 12,000 square foot houses up on the hill with a tennis court on the roof.
Yes.
Just drive this car. That would be good.
We could do burnouts on his tennis courts.
Yeah, donuts.
I could just be that horrible guy.
Yes.
And it might be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I suddenly woke up and I went, shit, I got to get over to the podcast.
Oh, my God.
But that's what good car design does.
Wow.
It makes you dream for a second.
Wow.
It truly is aspirational.
Wow. Look at that.
What do you mean?
Jello Biafra years ago in a spoken word album, he was talking about how much he hates LA, but he was visiting and he was staring up in the hills and he's like, if I sold a few more records, wake up.
Yeah.
Right.
Look at that car. Look at the top view of that car.
It is fantastic.
It's
and
beautiful,
if you talk about the Pagani at $3 million or whatever, $500,000 sounds like a bargain.
Super cheap.
You get
when you
7
talk,
of these.
When you talk about the price of the Land Cruiser or these other things that people are spending $400,000 on, all of a sudden
the electric G is $200 probably the way it sits, and like the G63 is now probably like $230 out the door, base. So $500. Turbo S is getting to be $3.
Yeah.
I mean,
Is this the right woman to text, right? That
yeah,
one right
yeah,
there.
top one. Yeah.
gotta get that.
I don't know if they're in the States yet, but I saw an orange SF90 that looked fucking fantastic. It was like sherbet colored, and I was just like, whoa.
Sherbet. Leave him in. Give me my sherbet.
It was orange peanut, circus peanut colored.
It was creamsicle colored.
Do your RFK sherbet voice.
I want some sherbet.
What, do I want some sherbet?
Out of a monkey's skull. I can't do the voice.
I've got a monkey spleen here in my pocket. You want to see it?
It's sherbet colored.
All right, we got to do Dear Zuckerman, but I have to do an ad before, and I don't know who it's for. Oh, it's for our friends at Vredestein, the official tire partner of Spike's Car Radio. Vredestein, Vreds, Vredestein. Get it right, people. You know who's got Vreds right now? Wally Ferriston, famed cue card guy for Saturday Night Live, and my little brother called and said, hey, Mike, could I get some free tires? And I said, sure, Wally. as long as you post about it. And he's got a blue Audi S5 or something. In nice color, like a Miami blue. And he's got new breads on it. And they look great. He's got those Giugiaro sidewalls on it. They look cool.
That would look good. That S5.
It does look. It looks right.
Yeah.
What is that? The Quad Track Pro. He put those on there. He loves it. He's so happy.
Great tires.
And then Bill, formerly of the Malibu Kitchen. The cookie Nazi, they call him.
It was Cookie Vagabond.
I took him to breakfast the other day, and he said, look, I forgot. And he had his Vredesteins on his new, to him, used pre-owned Range Rover. And he said, he goes, I can't believe how these tires have changed my life. I guess they had tires on there that were 10 years old.
The original owner.
But he's in love, and he credits Vredestein, and he posted about it.
Nice.
Whether you want something new or old, grip classics on the old cars. They've got everything you need. Vredestein tires. You go to vredestein.com. You'll find out where you can buy them. Or you can text me, and I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to tell you to do your own research.
Fuck you.
Spike, I did my own research. Now I'm voting for RFK. My car has autism.
I've done my own research here. A vaccine I got in 1967 has made me like this. It's that vaccine that made me cut the whale's head off, tie it to my Pinto, and drive for 6 hours, getting goo all over my daughter. That's what the vaccine did.
What is wrong with that guy? And then he screws his marriage up. Probably the most relatable thing he could do was screwing his marriage up. Then you realize, all right, you're just like every other idiot guy.
Show me some pictures of yourself.
What did you say?
Oh, you look hot, baby. If you send me some pictures of yourself, I'm going to send you some pictures of this porpoise that I eviscerated. I strangled it in the surf in Malibu and snuck it out.
Desert fox in my pocket. And of emergency.
Oh, you haven't lived till you've ripped the tail off a stoat and smoked it.
What? What are you talking about?
But he's endorsed Trump, so we're good. All's well.
Hold on, I'm going to bite the head off this parakeet and smoke some tobacco.
What?
The parakeet is my pipe. Oh, hold on, show me a nude picture of yourself.
Nice jugs, honey.
Again, the most relatable part of that guy. Does he still live here in L.A.?
Yeah, last I checked.
I don't think I'd have him on. It'd be fun. I think he'd probably chill out. Once this whole thing's over, he's ready to chill.
I don't think it would be any fun.
No?
No. No.
The way he told the story, the way he told the story about the bear. Now, those other guys were drinking, of course, but not me.
Nobody has really sat him down to ask him about animals. I would just say, look, the parameters of this interview are only animals. We're not even going to talk about politics. Nobody wants to hear it anyways. You're just going to tell us about your animal adventures. Because, Zuckerman, you and I like animal adventures.
Yes, always.
Did you see, what about that video I sent you this morning of the parrot who sleeps in the dog's mouth? The parrot lays his head inside the dog's lips.
Yeah.
That's what we're into.
Well, could you imagine what this guy would do to Rufus? He'd take one look and
I just put her chop her head off and stick it on a pencil and then drive around with it in my antenna.
I need this for my collection. This is for my taxidermy collection.
I think I'll dump Rufus's body on the mound at Dodger Stadium. Just leave it there. That seems like the logical thing to do.
Well, the Dodgers are in the finals. So.
No. I'll sneak in and put that bear carcass on home base.
Home plate? Do you even play baseball?
Do I have to play baseball to enjoy a bear carcass?
All right, dear Zuckerman. Let's see if I can find these letters. Okay, here they are. Remember, these are real Dear Abby letters, but we've replaced the word Abby with Zuckerman. And Zuckerman, you're going to give the advice, not that very nice lady whose picture is in the articles. Oh, I don't think I edited these. These could be a little long. Oh, here's one that I responded to at least 25 times in DMs. Yes, I got it. 26, 27, 28. It's a car one. Dear Zuckerman, I grew up poor. Because of that, I spoiled my daughter rotten.
Oh, yeah.
This is a good one.
I gave her everything, but it has backfired. When she turned 16, my husband and I bought her a brand new $70,000 BMW. What would that be, do you think?
Could be an X3 like M340 or something like that?
I told him I didn't want my daughter to be without anything like I was. She didn't want the $70,000 BMW. She wanted a $100,000 one. My husband said it was beyond his budget. When my daughter received her car, she wasn't happy. She kicked the car and dented it because it wasn't the one she wanted. My husband took it to the body shop and paid to have it fixed. She says that when it gets out of the body shop, she's going to kick it again, and then it will be even worse. I know what you think I should do, but if I take it away and disown her, she will drop out of college and her life will be ruined. Sounds like it's already ruined.
Veruca Salt.
I know that I'm 100% in the wrong. I know she admits it. I know I'm 100% wrong. I just need help, and hopefully, Zuckerman, you will have the answer that is different than everyone else's. Please help me with another suggestion.
Oh, it'll be different.
Go ahead, Zuckerman.
Well, she's already everything you're going to tell her to do, so she can only do what Sylvia Plath did. Turn. You like that?
I'm laughing.
You're laughing.
Yeah.
I almost got Lieberman to spit out of his nose.
Yeah.
You don't remember. You know who Sylvia Plath was?
I do, but didn't she kill herself?
Yeah, she put her head in the oven and turned it on. That's what I suggest for Mom. Because at this point,
Jesus, Zuckerman.
well, I mean,
be different.
Well,
The views of Zuckerman are not the views of Spike's Car Radio or Skyview Entertainment. We remind you, his views are his views alone.
You've
Hot
already
Wheels, Mattel, RFK, and lady who bought her daughter this $70,000 BMW. Continue, yes.
She doesn't want what she knows is right.
Right.
She knows that she should kick her daughter to the curb to teach her about life. Hey, the kid can go back to college later. Maybe she needs a few years off to mature. Maybe she needs to go work at Starbucks.
But this is typical codependent parenting.
Right, exactly.
I can't do that because then she will. You just let it all happen. Take the car back, sell it. You're on your own after this. Let the chips fall where they may. That kid will come back to you at some point.
And then go to codependent.
And
Anonymous.
then stop being codependent.
Can we get the daughter on the show, though? Because I'd like to ask her about her opinions
kick you
about
in the balls
BMWs.
and then kick you in the
No,
balls
I want to know
again.
what she thinks about BMW. Maybe she has really good taste. Like maybe she wanted an M2 CS and she only got a M2 comp. You know,
But she's already stupid.
Well, we don't know
She
that.
should just go, thank you. She should go, could I have the title, please? Then she should sell it.
That's the mom side of the story. I want to hear the daughter.
The daughter should just sell it.
But maybe she's just
Take
real
the money, buy
enthusiast.
whatever you want.
How old is the daughter? 17?
She's 16. She
They
kicked
made
the
a
car and dented it.
monster. They made a
She's got
monster.
great taste.
The parents really need to. The parents need to get kicked out of the house. They all need to get.
You know,
kicked out
I
of the
have.
house. God.
I had lunch with a mutual friend of mine who was saying, what do I buy for my 16-year-old? And I said, let me give you the list of cars you're not going to buy. And to his credit, he went, I would never, new BMW, new Audi, these things, Model 3, they never crossed my mind. Never crossed my mind. And I said, here's what I did, and that's about as much as I would do. And I would make this decision based on safety, making sure they're safe, the people around them are safe, everybody riding the car is safe. And here's the other thing. Make sure this goddamn car doesn't go fast. That's the other thing. Until they learn how to drive. And then don't ruin it for them. Let them figure out how to earn money and buy something wonderful. I said that's what I said to my son. He doesn't. He sees some of the cars that you and I are driving, and the GT3 RS. I let him drive it with me in the car once, but I said I would never give you anything like this because I don't want to steal from you that moment where you earn this money and you buy something that you love.
Right, and you don't want them coming in, the two sons with the shotguns. You being Gideon Jose Menendez.
Yes.
But you know what
and you taking a shotgun bullet to the stomach and standing up, son.
How excited were you, Zuckerman, when you bought your first Porsche? It was one of the greatest months of my life. It took me 4 years to save for that car.
You know what's funny?
It's so great. And if you and then you realize, we've had a lot of these things. You get used to them in a couple weeks, and it's not so special. Why would you do that to your kid? Like, get them in that indifferent state of mind that early? Like, you know what I mean? You're taking something away. You're robbing. You're stealing from them. You're making it about you.
I'm not the best one to ask about this, so
Yeah, no, affluenza is what it sounds like to me.
I've met your son. He's a nice boy, Zuckerman.
Yeah.
You did it right with him. But he's in his 20s now. That's different. I'm talking about a 16-year-old kid.
Well, yeah, and they're supposed to get in an accident in their first car. They're supposed to.
Yeah,
They
but
need to.
you should see the kids in my neighborhood who got the BMW M Series and the Model 3.
And they're all little assholes.
Now, they're all on Nextdoor because they're driving like hoodlums.
Sure.
It's wild what they're up to because those cars are really fast, and you know, I know what I would have done if I had something that fast when I was 16.
Oh, God,
I'd be
yeah.
racing.
Oh, yes.
nonstop.
100%.
What's interesting, Malibu, all of the kids drove reasonably well in my son's group. They kept it slow. Malibu's a small town. Everybody sees everything. You would think your little part of town is pretty small too. You would think that the parents would put a lid on that shit.
Once it makes it on to next door, they're outed right away. And then, yeah, it usually calms down. But there's too many of them to control. There's too much of it. And by the way, the parents aren't much better, some of them.
But that is pretty next level to be handed a brand new $70,000 BMW and kick it. That's
bad.
really spoiled. That's
Well, there
really
you go.
spoiled. That's like,
Madam, you didn't
Kicked
raise
her.
your daughter right, and you can start today by raising her right, by taking everything away and sending her off to college. She drops out.
Yeah, I don't
Let the
think
chips
college-
fall where they may.
I don't think college will help this girl very much.
Yeah, you think she's really going to class?
No.
No. I've said it before on the show. I was driving across Nebraska where I went. It dawned on me, oh shit! If I don't go back to school and do this work, I'm going to amount to nothing. Because I had finally had enough space away from my parents, and they're threatening me about college and grades and everything. They finally gave up, and then I realized, oh shit! I've got to do the work myself.
Right.
I've got to make something of
It's about
myself.
you.
And then everything changed. It's a total paradigm shift, and it works. But if they had kept going, I would have kept pushing against them, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Because they've always, you got to make the kids take responsibility for their own actions.
Okay, Dear Zuckerman, second letter. And I know that where this one is going to go,
Yeah.
and I'm going to let it go there. My wife went on vacation with her best friend. While they were there, they visited a nudist resort. She admitted that she and her friend both took off their bathing suits and went swimming. I was fuming as her husband to think that she would undress in front of strangers. I feel betrayed. It makes me sick to my stomach to think that she did this to me. Am I wrong to be anxious and mad about this situation? Dressed in Maine, Zuckerman.
Wow, what a crybaby! Your wife sounds fun. You sound like a fucking wet blanket. You know, you should learn how to loosen up and have a good time. God, I want to. If I had a choice of hanging out with you or your wife, I know who I'm picking.
Yeah, well, that's why he's mad. Because he knows everyone feels that way.
He should lighten up, loosen up. Jeez.
Exactly.
Sounds like your wife is fun.
That's not where I thought you were going to go with it. I thought you were going to say the wife and her friend are a couple.
That could be too. Now, for once I tried to be demure, and when I said fun, your wife sounds fun.
She does.
Yes, she sounds fun. I think she probably got it on with a bunch of different people at the nudist camp, but I wasn't going to say
you
that.
think she did? I don't
Okay,
think she did.
The clothes are coming off, Ferriston.
I think that could just be cute fun.
And they could be just trying and experimenting. Hey, listen, I tell you what. If she told her husband, probably it was innocent.
Right.
It's when they don't tell.
Yes.
Right. And then there's.
We've talked about this. Like, there's nothing worse than people at a nudist colony. Nothing is less
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
than people at a nudist colony. It's just fucking gross.
And most people's lives aren't very exciting. So
He's
she wanted
sick to his stomach. What a
Yeah.
wussy! Come on,
Yeah, exactly.
sick to your stomach.
It should
Friday.
turn him on a little bit. you know?
Yeah. I'm sick to my stomach.
My naked wife.
Now, if my car was at that nudist car show, I might be sick to my stomach.
that would make me
But-
upset.
Yeah, but not this.
Yeah, she's fun. I agree. All right, here's another letter for Zuckerman. It has to do with wives, too.
Perfect.
I didn't spend much time on today's show. Dear Zuckerman, my wife and I are both in our mid-50s. Due to a medical issue she has, we rarely have sex. Why are you laughing at that?
Because it's funny.
I don't really think about it very often anymore. Meanwhile, I have a friend, Edie.
Oh.
We have been friends for a good few years now. I met her in my side job as a handyman. Okay.
I'm here to
This is the setting for a cheap porno.
I'm here to fix Simon Cobble.
Edie is in her 80s.
Oh boy, where's this going? Yeah.
My wife has met Edie and calls her my girlfriend in a joking manner. At least, I think so. From time to time, Edie would drop little sexual remarks, which at first I never noticed. When I recognized them, I never really thought much about them. One day, though, recently, Edie was having an especially bad day and was crying and wanted to feel alive. One thing led to another, and I had sex with Edie.
You sick fuck. Oh my.
So he's 50 and she's 80.
Wow.
What was that movie?
Now, wait, I'm not even done. Now Edie has awakened and has always wanted to engage in sex when I see her. Until now, I have never cheated on my wife in all these years we have been married, and it weighs heavily on my mind. I love my wife, and I don't want to lose her or the relationship we have. I also don't want to ruin the relationship I have with 80-year-old Edie. If that's possible, who is just a good friend and nothing more? Well, you're having sex
A
with her.
little more.
Nothing more.
Edie's health is starting to get a little touchy. and per her family history,
I keep breaking your hips.
she will only live a few more years. She doesn't really have many friends or family to spend time with her. Can I keep my wife and my relationship with Edie? Please give me some good
Wow,
advice,
this
Zuckerman.
is
I am struggling.
Before Zuckerman starts, Spike, this is why we need video. His face when you were reading this, I've never seen a more confused human being. The gears were turning.
He's not alone. We're all confused.
No, but this is.
Well, I think. Okay. Dear sir, we may consider sex with 80-year-olds not cheating. It's an act of mercy. It's an act of love. It's an act of kindness. It's yes, and okay, and you've said it yourself. She's on her way out. The shelf life isn't really long, and you're going to be in Edie's will, whatever money there is. And then you can deal with your wife's medical condition.
Right.
Whatever has kept that thing zippered up, you can fix now.
You're scooping Edie for your wife.
Yeah, and boy, are you a really interesting, weird dude.
Yeah.
I think
She was upset and wanted to feel alive, so I pulled out my crank and showed it to her. I mean,
I'm Dr.
I just like the narrative arc here. She was upset and needed to feel alive, so I had sex with her. She's 80.
there are lots of other sentences that could come after that.
Yeah.
So I took her to play pickleball.
Yeah, I took her to the bar. We had pickled eggs. Why not?
So we went for a walk and fed the ducks.
I did
her
my
to an
best
amusement park.
RFK impression.
I gave her a wombat skull.
A wombat skull.
You really want to feel alive here? You got to take this walrus lips and put them in your juice.
Wait, what? I think if he goes to his wife and says, look, I think my wife would never in a million years let me ever do anything with anybody else. But I think if I said to her, look, this kindly old lady really wants to feel alive, and my dick is going to provide that life, that Frankenstein electricity. Would you allow me? No, it wouldn't work.
Zucker,
This is a
you
bad
got
pitch.
Erica's number. I want to text her right now.
I mean, if you're going to get a pass on cheating, you know, the 80-year-old has a greater likelihood of a pass. But no.
That is a weird-ass letter.
It's a weird-ass letter. Do you think it's real?
I do. Abby vets all of these letters for us
I mean,
ahead of time. They appear in all these major publications.
but you're right. That's a movie. That's what was that called? It's with
it
the
was
Jaguar
Harold and
E-Type.
Maude.
Yeah, Harold and
Harold
Maude.
and
Yeah, it's
Maude.
the Harold and Maude.
That's a
thing.
great movie. I
It
love
is a
that
great movie.
Yes.
Yeah, all right. So Harold and Maude.
With a little bit of adultery.
But that kid wasn't married, and it's got the Jaguar. Remember the Jaguar in it?
Yep.
I said the
Cliff.
E-Type. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, listen.
It's-
At this point, nobody needs to know other than the readers of the New York Times.
Right. Your secret's safe, you fucking weirdo.
Oh, you know, my friend is a handyman for an 80-year-old. Yeah, someone's going to put that together.
That's just bizarre.
Okay. Next question, dear Zuckerman. Let's save the best for last.
That wasn't the best?
Nope.
Wow.
It sounds like a bad joke, But my cheating husband stepped into the street and got hit by a semi and died.
Sounds like an answer to your dreams.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
Instead of going through a difficult divorce, I have inherited all his assets and am a very wealthy woman. I have no idea how to deal with any of this. I held a memorial and didn't stay long. I felt like a fraud. Friends told me that his mistress showed up in tears. Apparently, she is a single mom, and my husband was paying for her apartment and her son's private school. Ouch. That's me saying ouch. And I'm crazy to want to reach out and maybe help her? ? My circle of friends runs the gamut from glee to indifference about her fate. My husband and I have been drifting apart for a while before he died. I can't process anything right now rationally. I could use an outside perspective. What do I do, Zuckerman?
Well, indeed. It sounds like you've got enough money to hire the three of us to help you spend it. Okay.
We can put together a portfolio of investment cards for you and your husband's mistress.
And the kid.
And the kid.
And the kid.
Yes.
Really, lady, your head's spinning. You had the best possible outcome here. Pinch yourself. This is, just take the universe was taking care of you. Karma, everything worked out. You really don't owe the mistress anything.
But isn't that kind of cool that if she did do it? I mean, this other woman, arguably, I guess.
But the other woman could find another rich married guy and leech off him.
But isn't it some good came of this moment? Some good. She helps the boy. He goes to college. He becomes the new RFK.
And then eventually a handyman. I'm going to Edie. And then we're back at Edie.
Yeah. I don't know. I think if she could do it, why not? If she can afford it, why not help those folks? That's kind of nice. I think that's kind of an interesting, a Zen way of looking at it.
I think that
without a resentment.
If
she's not upset, why not help somebody else?
Because I see
there's not enough of this in the world, Zuckerman.
I agree with
people
you, but I
helping
see an
each other.
ulterior motive here.
What is that?
She really just wants to see the other woman.
Right.
She wants to figure out what her husband saw in the other
woman. But it sounds like the relationship was gone for a while, that it was falling apart and he went somewhere else.
And so, and as
she also doesn't care.
As Lieberman said, the desperate mom can figure out another guy to find. Maybe this is the thing that the mistress needed in order to find an available guy.
Who was that news guy years ago who had secret families? Charles Kuralt, remember him?
Did he really on the road?
He had two. Yeah, he was on the road guy. He had secret families on the road.
I didn't know.
Yeah, before the internet, he just started making families in different towns, like Jimmy Buffett buying houses everywhere he stopped and toured.
Yeah,
wow.
He had different families.
Right.
But doesn't that guy create a lot of damage that maybe that money can help fix everybody? And
okay, if it was his kid,
the only thing I would say is just don't do it right now. Process the death. Then make a decision later. But I think there's something kind of nice about that.
Kind of nice. She should just go buy a nice old car.
You can do both.
I love that he got hit by a semi-truck. That's great.
Okay. It gets worse if your kids are listening in the car right now. You might want to put the earmuffs on for our last Dear Zuckerman letter. But this is a real letter. I'm sorry. This is a real letter. So you write Dear Abby about these letters. Don't write us. Dear Zuckerman. In the summer of 2011, my wife and I purchased a top-of-the-line Jopin vibrator.
Well, that's top of the line.
Top of the line.
No cheap vibrators for us.
State of the art.
What line?
The Jopin line. We used it a few times, and we're just beginning to really integrate it into our sex life. Suddenly, over the years, we learned to make it part of our sex life and enjoy it until my wife suddenly died of a heart attack. So he's using a vibrator for 10 years.
Wow.
And which he says the vibrator had nothing to do with that. He went out of his way to say that. The excuse unasked for, by the way.
Yes.
Now it's a year more than later. Let's see. Now more than a year later.
I've remarried the vibrator.
2024. I've begun to date again. I've met a woman with an open mind, and I'm thinking she might be interested in using this vibrator. but I'm not sure how or whether to suggest it. Is it creepy to offer a dead woman's vibrator to somebody else?
Yes, go buy a new one,
another
you
one.
cheap fuck. You know, here's the indication of what a miserly guy this is.
But this is top of the line
Yes,
Chopin we're talking about.
that's
This
what I'm
is state of the art.
Right? I can't possibly. I spent a lot of money on this, and I didn't get a lifetime of use out of it. Listen, you cheap, miserable
Letter writing fucking.
fuck. Go buy a new one and say to the girl, "Look what I bought for us."
Jesus Christ! Could
That-
you imagine though? Like,
I want it.
this is my wife. This was inside of her when she died.
I need you to help me.
fuck you
I
with
need you to help me transition our relationship. This is therapeutic.
One last thing before I put it in. She died of a heart attack
While
after
fucking
this.
this thing. I mean,
This is top of the line Chopin.
real quick, what did Abby say?
I didn't read it.
It's obvious.
It's obvious what she was going to say.
Cheap, miserable.
Jesus.
Sometimes
Christ.
these aren't Abby letters. I think this is a Dear Prudence.
Oh, okay. Well,
This is somebody else.
Cheap
Jesus Christ. It's just.
Are people that clueless?
Why
or are
would
they?
you write that letter? You have to know that.
If you're writing the letter, you've exercised some type of thought.
Like, is she into ghosts? Like, what the fuck does she want that dildo for? Vibrator, excuse me.
It's really interesting. You know, people say we could never do the Seinfeld series because you could just ask ChatGPT or your iPhone, what do I do in this situation? Or Reddit or somebody. I wonder if that question is answered somewhere already out in the, if I put that in the Google search tonight.
Jesus, I don't know.
Can I share my dead wife's vibrator with my next girlfriend?
But it's not just his dead wife. She died with the vibrator in her.
No, he didn't say that. He said it
Oh.
wasn't the cause. He said it became part of our sexual activity.
Either way, it's fucking weird. Okay, I thought he was like stuffing her with the vibrator.
He said she had a heart attack, and the implication is it's the top of the line Chopin.
Very implied the murder weapon.
Top of the line. Boy, that must have cost a real fortune. A whole $38. You don't think amateurized over the past 15 years? You got your money's worth, fella?
Hey, by any chance is that body by the
Also-
side of the road?
Yeah, RFK, stop.
I'm just saying, if that wife's dead body's on the side of the road, I might be interested in some of her parts.
RFK, please.
My friend's dead wife's skull.
Look, it's normal. Like human roadkill is just normal. I just want the leg.
But also, real quick, it's a vibrator. Like, you had it for
Yes, that's what
13
I'm saying.
years.
You got your
Like,
money's worth.
No, but not only that, like, it wouldn't last that long. They should
No. Top of the line Chopin.
Oh yeah, it's reliable.
That's why they buy it. It lasts for decades.
But only one. If that's really your whole sex life revolves around one toy, like it's.
By the way, what a great advertising for Chopin. It lasts a decade and kills you.
That's longer than the user.
Sam, we have a new sponsor.
Call the Chopin people.
It's like that. It's like the Patek ad. You don't own it. You just keep it for the next generation.
Chopin vibrators. Once it kills your parent, it's yours. Yeah. I love this country. It's full of funny things. I thought after all these years I'd heard everything, but no, I have not heard everything.
That's actually really new.
There's lots of new things all the time now.
I'm really like, that's so fucking weird.
Yeah. Anyway.
Wow, what weird cult did that guy grow up in? Like, there's only one vibrator.
Top of the line.
Top of the line.
It's top of the line. I'm RFK Jr. for Chopin Vibrators. After my unsuccessful presidential bid, I decided to get another job, Chopin Vibrators.
Falconry and fire.
The falconry thing experiment didn't work out, but let me tell you, when you fuck a walrus with a Chopin vibrator,
RFK, please. Please, sir. Please.
I've got Don Jr.'s vibrator.
Would you please stop?
I've got a cocaine flavored vibrator.
Anyways, that's our show. I don't know. Somehow I saw a rating. We have a G rating for this podcast. I don't even know how. How do we have a G rating? That wasn't a G rating.
It's one
show.
after F.
I guess there were lots of and I apologize. There were a lot of swears in that one.
Oh yeah, a lot.
I apologize.
A lot of sexual content. Not usually what we do.
No.
But that's it. I got nothing left. We'll see you next week on Spike's Car Radio.
Thanks for listening to Spike's Car Radio. Listen to new episodes every Wednesday and be sure to subscribe. Now, I'm gonna take a nap.